If you're trying to get rid of man boobs, you're probably hammering out push-ups and high-intensity workouts, right? But what if that's the exact reason why you're not seeing results? The problem often isn't lack of effort, it's hidden hormonal signs telling your body to store chest fat. In this video, I'm not just going to give you another killer workout, I'm going to show you how to work with your body's chemistry so you can finally let go of that stubborn fat for good. Hi, my name is Boris Kish. I'm an IFBB license coach, professional nutritionist, and the super heavyweight bodybuilding competitor in the over 100 kilo category, which is over 220 pounds on stage. I'm 6'4" tall, which is 193 centimeters. Welcome to my channel. Now I would like to tell you before we go to the problems, of course, and the solutions. One of the solutions is that I created 3 completely free training splits for you that you can get down below for free. Just join my coaching newsletter and I'm going to send them straight to your email. Number 1 problem and solution from 3 that I will explain you now is if you really have gynecomastia or lipomastia. Do you understand? I mean, gynecomastia is or gynecomastia, or how do you say this properly in English, is if your, breast tissue from the too much estrogen, right, got increased, or you were probably on a cycle, you were on a bad cycle, or even on a good steroid cycle, right? And, it simply developed that way. And the second one is lipomastia. That is if you have this really old, stubborn, fat kind of soap tissue under the whole layer of the chest that also doesn't want to go, So the worst possible scenario is that this has to go under the knife, right? I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat you, but don't worry, there are solutions that are coming later. But if this is, how can I say, unfixable, or how to say unkillable, I mean, if it really developed to that stage, then, the surgery is the only option, and you should not be afraid of that, of course. I mean, I honestly, during my career, was not natural, of course. And I always thought, what if I developed that? Because there is no rules, someone can take a small fist of, testosterone deanabol tablets and can achieve that. Someone can take stuff his whole life and he's lucky not to get it, right? And I honestly, man, if I had that, if it was really bothering me, I would, schedule the operation and I would get rid of that. That's nothing embarrassing. And I honestly don't see why not if it's really that bad. But wait, because I offer much better solution unless it's really so critical. So let's see, where do you stand actually, and how to fix that once and for all. If you of course like this honest content, I would really like to ask you to hit that like and subscribe button for more raw, real, unfiltered, episodes like this, and I will really appreciate. Now let's go to number 2, and that's the trainings. There, of course, as I said in my hook, there is no hardcore training that's going to help you to get rid of those man boobs. And I honestly have to tell you but there is a way how to train properly, not that I jump in my own mouth. I want to tell you that I'm not better than you. I'm not genetically gifted. I'm not a mesomorph. If I don't take care of myself, I get fat super easy and I get this ugly soapy layer under the chest that, was always pissing me off. Especially it's horrible, when I was really trying to get lean before the stage, and one of the poses is a side chest, and when this fat layer is down there even few millimeters, it looks ugly. It completely destroys the lower chest shape. So how to train properly, just to explain you in short lines, before I explain you, of course you cannot burn fat, especially on that area, only by training, but that doesn't mean that fat burning process isn't increased in that area. if you simulate it more with the training. Do you understand? I mean, this is like, it will burn fat on that area if you do proper way of training and proper exercises for around 5 to 10% more than usually. And honestly, 5 to 10%, I mean, imagine if you from your monthly salary saved 5 to 10%, right, every month, how much would you have at the end of the year or in 6 months? The same is with that lower chest area. So, you know, honestly, I would train these exercises, pullover, you know, one of the favorite from Arnold Schwarzenegger, also mine, declined bench press, you know, declined flies for the chest, and a lot of dips. And the way how I suggest that you do it is, you know, not to overcomplicate this episode, you have myofibrillar hypertrophy and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is when you want to increase the muscle mass that you have already on you, right? Myofibrillar is when you're focusing more on lifting heavy weights, which is extremely necessary if you want to grow, but this episode is not for that. Sarcoplasmic is the one that is, you know, mostly focused on pump, you know, how to say this, you know, in the easiest possible way. You know, drop sets, supersets, you can add some giant sets. I would prefer that you do this in the next few months until you really get down to 15, 12 or 10 or even below body fat percent that I'm teaching you in these episodes, you know. And that way I can guarantee for sure the fat tissue is going to decrease below the chest. And honestly, man, this is, you know, how I got rid of mine. You know, it's stubborn, but, you know, just, you know, eating properly and, you know, doing nothing is not going to help the fat burning process there. Number 3 is the cortisol. How to get, before that, you know, I would really like to, before number 3, I'm sorry, apologize. Write me in the comments, what's your ultimate, you know, what are your ultimate exercises for the lower chest? I just told you mine, but do you have something else, you know, that you're working to, you know, really shape this nice lower chest that everybody likes, you know, and to burn fat on that area? I mean, to help burning fat on that area, right? Number 3, I would say the most important guilty villain in this episode. Why do you have fat on the lower chest? Is the hormone called cortisol. If the cortisol is up, the lower stomach and the lower chest is the place where the body is storing this horrible, soapy, hard fat, you know. So no matter what your diet is, no matter what exercises you're doing, no matter if you even go under the knife, hopefully not, that's not my goal. If the cortisol is high, sooner or later that's going to come back. So what's the solution here, you know? The solution is to reduce stress completely. What does that mean? Reduce caffeine as much as possible. Reduce any, you know, accessory stress that you have in your life. I mean, it can happen, you know, that really somebody is eating your nerves every day. If you have bad friends, bad colleagues, bad job, bad partner that you see that is really destroying your health and increasing the cortisol, it's really important that you get rid of it. Of course, we cannot get rid of everything in life. I understand that, you know, the life goes on, but the most important thing that you can cut them down, because if the stress hormone is up, if you're non-stop in flight or fight mode, you are simply not going to burn fat. There is nothing that can help you, you know. So the wrong thing is, you know, as I always did, to, you know, put as much stimulants in my body thinking that this will burn fat. No, it actually does the contra effect. As calm, so this is wrong. As calmer you are, the body will know that it's not fighting, it's not World War III. The body doesn't know, are you trying to get rid of man boobs, fat going down to 10% of body fat? Do you understand? The body doesn't know, are you actually trying to get rid of man boobs? So even you lower the cortisol, automatically the fat burning process everywhere is going to be increased. Next, if you really want to learn the top 3 cutting mistakes that you're probably unconsciously making, click on this video right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.